Here we are dealing with
I'm not going to shut
all
up.
kinds of shit.
Jesus.
And it's not mine for
what
once.
a day. What a freaking day.
Old Andrew's having
just
a
not-
little bit of a day.
We should have been live with that phone call a second
I
ago.
wanted to do it. You said no.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to jinx it. Oh my god.
Well, I didn't want your personal information getting out there either.
Whatever personal. I mean, it's all out there anyway.
But apparently you've already gotten hacked on Facebook anyway.
Fuck.
So what did you say? 5,000 all
Gone. Years of cultivating.
Listen,
You know, the shitty part is pictures. I got pictures on there. I got lots of photographs. I got lots of videos of my dogs and stuff like that I put on there. They don't have my phone anymore, and they're now gone. And good, you know, you heard the phone call. I mean, it was.
It's like a boo from
Boy, he
fucking
did
the
bitch
Simpsons.
slap me though, didn't he? Don't interrupt me. I was like, what the?
I need your fucking help right now.
It's like, dude, shut up. I'm gonna come through this phone line and just smack your 5 foot, whatever.
I've actually I haven't giggled that hard in a long time. Listen, the first time,
it's not my personality to shut up.
and it's not your finest hour when when you get smacked down by a foreigner. And he was like, "Okay, sorry, sir."
I was like, I'm sorry. Just give it to me again.
Just
do it again.
Just fucking fix me.
Jesus. And it's not fixed.
And it's not fixed yet.
You know, I got to call him back, which really makes me nervous. I think, you know, I saw that movie. I thought I saw it on the screen here earlier. I can't tell by all the Disney flicks you got, but I'm looking at Dumbo and whatever. I guess that's your favorite.
Lots of Disney.
I saw the movie The Beekeeper, and I had to watch it
I haven't
twice.
seen that yet.
Okay, well, I won't ruin it for you because there's no plot. But I saw it. I had to watch it. Like I started watching it, and then I got off of it. I turned it off because like the first. I won't ruin it for anyone out there. So you know what? Whatever. That's not the movie or the main part. But the beginning starts with an elderly lady, my parents' age. It was actually a lady played on the Cosby Show. She played the wife. What's her name?
Felicia Rashad.
Rashad. Anyway, and she gets a message, and it's like, you know, it's like an email. It's like, hey, your subscription's up for blah. Click here to, you know, whatever, renew it. And so she does. And then they're really nice to her, and they walk her through, and they go like, go to this page and hit OK, right? And the reason it bugged me so bad is because I could see my parents doing that.
How many times a day? I mean, even me, like how many times a day? Like I'll look at stuff, but then it's like blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, that looks legit. Click.
Oh, I
how many times can you get fucked over?
Well, I mean, and so I'm a little bit leery. So if anyone doesn't know, so my Facebook page has been taken down by Meta. And they asked me to provide my driver's license and name, like a picture of me and my driver's license, to them yesterday through their app, not on an email. So I was on the app, and it was like, hey, your account's acting wiggly. So I did, and I thought, I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, they're gonna know, it's, you know, I am who I say I am, and everything be cool. And they're like, I got a message, it's like, yeah, that's still not enough. We don't think you're you. And I'm like, but it's me. How could you I mean, this is me. And so they took my page down, which, you know, caused a lot of gnashing of teeth. I mean, and I was like, I'm upset because, you know, we got the convention coming up here I'll be at it on Monday. It really is funny. It removes your ability to connect with your friends and to spread your message and to annoy every liberal in Anderson Township. So I'm kind of annoyed that I can't be annoying. The other thing is that, you know, I want everyone to think about this, and you and I were just discussing it, but we'll do it on the air. There's a push to go digital. Everything's digital. You know, I know a lot of people carry this device and only this device around, and they sit there and they do. Have you seen the Apple Pay people?
Oh yeah.
You know, like, oh well, I'll just use Apple Pay, like they're cute, like they're cool. Yeah. I'm like, you're just a dork. They're like, hold on a second, and I'm like, swipe this. I mean, I'm a cash guy. I've always been a cash guy. I prefer to pay in cash.
I try to. Like at the firehouse, we'll use Venmo back and forth for meals or whatever, but I try to bring cash.
It's easy.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's always there. But my point is, so because of no fault of my own, because of no action of my own, I haven't been to, what did he say? I was logged on in
Germany. I thought he threw like a Russian one in
I
there.
don't know what he said, but he's like, China. I was like, it's like, no, I haven't been to China. He's like, I can see. And like, no disrespect to the guy. He actually, I'm just leery, you know, after seeing that movie, I'm like, you know, do I follow his instructions or do I just, you know?
That's the scary part because you have all these third parties that jump onto these things.
I mean, I know the number. I looked online. If anyone knows, like, here's the problem with Meta and Facebook and at all. There's no way to contact a human being.
Nope.
There's no real which was funny because we're sitting here and I found an 800 number, but there's no 800 number. There's no email address. There is a couple, but I've sent and it just disappears. There's no speak to agent. There's no now. Yeah, okay, you pay nothing for it. I get it but you're also the product. You know, they're selling your information to
Right.
ads. So I created another profile today. I mean, just for whatever. I was like, okay, I'll try this, you know. But then I created it. And it's like, oh, congratulations, you're on. And I was like, and I clicked on the feed, and it was like so pathetic. I was like, there's no followers, there's no friends, there's nothing. And I'm like,
Andrew's swimming in the sea of uncertainty.
I mean, you feel like you walked into an empty room. You're like, hello, there's no one there. And I said something. I can't remember what I posted. I mean, I think I posted my experience that, you know, if anyone knows of a way to fix this, but no one saw it because I have no friends. Weird situation to be in, but whatever.
Well, the funny thing is you do have a friend, and we're gonna start this show.
You have a
out.
friend. Oh yeah,
We're gonna start this
four-legged friend. Let's go there. This is my experience this week. I forgot.
I laughed my ass off when I saw this.
That's nice.
And I commented on your old Facebook page.
That's not. I don't see it anymore, but whatever.
So hold on, because this is leading into something.
I mean, if there's no fear here and you keep walking up, eating all of the plants in my yard, I mean, this is not the relationship we're supposed to have. When I come home and I see you, you're supposed to go bounding off into the woods like a good deer and not come back into my yard and eat my tomatoes and my petunias and all my other stuff. But that's not what you're doing. You're walking towards me. You're coming. This is not Old Country Buffet, which yes, you're licking. I see you licking your lips. I understand what you're doing, but look at all that stuff. Look at all that green. You got all that green. Can't you go eat that stuff instead of my plants? Or mine tastes better? Which one is it? There you go. Now walk away. Don't flick your tail at me. Just walk away and don't leave me any treats. I don't want anything to step in the yard.
So Andrew posted. But the reason I bring this up is our buddy Rich from Engraved in USA, who you'll see like when Andrew's not available, Rich is going to jump in. And he sent me this, and this is terrifying to me, but you being a man of nature, obviously, the deer whisperer that you are.
Yeah, go ahead.
He sent me this. This muggle 104 live snakes in his pants.
That's impressive.
Now, are you a snake guy?
No, I'm the kind of guy. There was one time I was cutting. Now, first of all, I'm from Texas originally, so in Texas, well, we don't go, ooh, look, a snake. Right. We're like, oh shit, a snake, and you shoot it, okay, or run your car over it. But in Texas, you know, I think 90% of the snakes are poisonous in some fashion. I remember growing up,
venomous, not poisonous, venomous.
Oh, okay, doctor.
Is the correct
Are you
term.
A doctor? Are you a biologist?
It's the correct term.
I'm not a biologist.
Herpetologist.
Whatever, you're an idiologist.
Well,
But
that's facts.
we were shooting each other. Actually, did you ever play BB Gun Wars?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like back in the day before lawyers. So we were BB yard. And I was sitting there crouched by a tree about to take a beat on my brother. And I saw this really brightly colored snake. It was a freaking coral snake. Because you remember what's the phrase?
I don't remember it.
Oh, so you're not a biologist.
No,
Okay.
or a herpetologist.
Or a herpetologist.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express once.
Red meets yellow, kill a fellow. Red meets black, friend of Jack. These are like one step removed from a cobra. Now, the deal is, though, they don't strike. They have to kind of chew on you. They have very small teeth and a small mouth, so they're not going to strike at you. But I was like, whoa. I mean, that was the deadliest snake I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Seen plenty of copperheads, plenty of water moccasins, plenty of rattlesnakes. I've seen more rattlesnakes you can shake a stick at.
So knowing you were from Texas when perfect.
Well, I jumped off lawnmower here in Cincinnati because there was a snake in the yard. I have a riding lawnmower. It kept going. I'm not kidding. It kept going. I was like, I'm out. It was an old Gibson. It was, I think it was the orange one. It didn't have the safety device when you jumped up. See, this thing would keep going. I think I mowed half my neighbor's bushes down. I was like, they're like, what happened? I go, there was a snake.
I am the exact same way. If I see a gardener snake,
I'm gone.
Yeah, I got flames on my feet.
Oh.
I'm the fastest runner. I'll beat any NFL
Anybody.
player in the 40-yard dash.
I'm like, get me the flamethrower. This thing is dying.
So this fucking jackhole, Trevor was
where was he traveling from?
recently arrested for attempting to smuggle over
China.
100 live snakes in his trousers through customs.
Is that a snake in your pants?
Fusion Port, a checkpoint between mainland China and Hong Kong.
Ah,
The man was trying to pass through Shenzhen.
you got a
Customs.
picture of the stakes? I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to see.
I'm scrolling down. Let's see. Upon inspection, officer found 6 rope canvas bags sealed with adhesive tape in the passenger's pants pockets. So hold on as I scroll down here.
Oh my god!
Fuck off.
Oh my,
That is my nightmare.
oh my god! In your pants.
That is my absolute nightmare.
It's in your pants.
Even seeing one of those in my vicinity is my nightmare, but that is literally
I came down my steps one night at my house.
special place in hell for people like that.
Oh yeah, and there was something had moved, and I just ran. And yeah, I don't do snakes. I'm like you. I just have an issue with snakes. I'm not a big fan.
Don't trust them. You can't.
Can't trust. Yeah, no reptiles. Yeah, doesn't have a body heat. I'm not trusting it.
But I thought it was funny when you sent me that there. I saw that deer video and I asked
Yeah.
you to send to me today.
Yeah.
And then Rich sent me that this morning as I was setting the show up. I was like, I'm pulling that off right now.
We don't do serious stuff here. We're gonna lighten it up a little bit. We're gonna do we're gonna have an animal segment in every section of the show.
We're gonna have on the ghost of Steve Irwin.
Crikey,
Crikey, that stingray shouldn't have hit me in the chest.
crikey, that.
You did say a bunch of video, but we've had stuff.
I'm still pissed. I mean, I'm just gonna.
You're gonna have to get over it.
No, I mean, do I call this guy back? That's the question. What do you think?
How's your bank accounts?
God, this sucks. It just sucks. If anyone knows how to do this, just send us a comment or whatever.
Or whatever.
Whatever. But no, we do have a lot of serious things to talk about. I mean, it's been a fun week. You know, I came back Sunday. We rolled in for the inaugural Monday, and then it seems like since then it's been a pretty big shitstorm here for the president, the prez as it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the one. I have so many.
Oh, do that one. I sent you that one.
I have so many tabs.
Do. So we're gonna stay on the pets for a second. This is you show that one, the one about the ring of the bulls.
Oh yeah.
Because you got to show the picture.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, so is it in Papelona? Yeah, it's in Papelona, Spain. They do the running of the bulls, and people pay money to do this. Thrill seekers pay money to do this. Shows these people. First of all,
That's why I said in the description of the podcast, running with thousands of pounds of beast with horns seems like a great idea.
dude, we have cows at my parents' farm in Texas. Okay, what I mean by that is they're very, very tame. You know, they don't realize their food, and I look at them, I'm like, "Ooh, you tasty little mother." But the problem is if you're not careful intentionally, but they'll step on your foot, and you will break pretty much every bone in your foot because you've got a 3,000-4,000 pound animal standing with cloven hooves.
He's just trying to be nice
on your otherwise unprotected feet because you usually don't have safety toed shoes on at the farm. Yeah, I could not imagine. Show the picture of the guy. Like, that's got to hurt. I mean, that's going into your leg.
And this happens every year.
Yeah.
Every year, these. I mean, granted, it's a tradition, and I get it. You know what? Keep your tradition.
Is it a tradition or is it Darwinism on display?
I think it's Darwinism,
yeah,
personally.
Darwinism on display.
But I mean, we see videos like this all the fucking time.
Now, I've seen it go in other places it shouldn't go.
Yes.
That maybe in other parts of the country would be a little more expected or accepted. But I will tell you, the funny thing is, you watch the videos of these guys doing it. They're all like live streaming. They're like, look at me, and so they're running with one hand holding their phone.
Yeah, it's
while there's a bull, a pissed off bull with. I think they sharpen the. Do you remember the Bugs Bunny throwing a?
I mean, look at this shit. I mean, somebody took a picture right here.
Yeah.
If one of these animals.
Well, he's slipping.
Yeah.
First of all, they're not designed to run. They don't have like rubber shoes on.
And they're on cobblestone.
Yeah, they're on cobblestone, so they can't grip. So that thing's coming at you. You've got pissed off horns.
I want the after effect. I want the after picture after this dude gets smoked.
Just lit. And all the people are standing around. I mean, look at that.
I don't understand where we went wrong, Jose.
I
don't get it.
I don't. It's like, hey, what are you doing, Bill? I'm kind of bored. Let's go to Pamplona, Spain, and get gored by a couple of bulls.
And
that guy, that hurts.
This guy's getting fucked, like literally, getting penetrated, not by the horns though.
He's having a conjugal visit with the cow,
and he looks like he's having a great time.
I don't know. Who am I to judge? It just doesn't look fun.
I haven't looked into the history of it and why.
It's ancient.
And
why. Look, EMS on the scene.
Yep. Guess what?
Shocking.
I'm making sure I'm not working that day. That's not. I want to pick up.
I mean, I get that you get an adrenaline rush. I mean, look at the horns on that.
Yeah, there you go. There's your dude live
streaming. Look, no hands. See, all it takes is a flick of the head.
This one looks like it has tape on
it. It probably has blood and skin on it. I mean, it's probably been used.
I mean, how crazy is that though?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and I don't understand it. I get it. Maybe do you keep the bandana? Is that like you hang that around your rearview mirror as you're driving around? People are like, hey, he's cool. I'd be like, whatever.
Oh, dude, he ran with the bulls.
He ran with the bulls.
You
I mean, and do you go out for a steak dinner after that? What's the etiquette?
I would hope that one of those bulls is the steak dinner.
I'd like the bull to win. The bull, like remember in World War II,
they win a lot.
Yeah, but
the numbers just don't out.
Like when you had a successful mission or you sank a ship, they paint or sank a sub, they painted on the. What if they do a person on the side of the bull? How many people he's just
how
trampled.
badass he is?
Yeah, it's like this bull's. He's obliterated 10 people this week.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're wearing white. What for? I mean, don't you want to wear red so you blend in with the blood?
No, isn't but
like that bull has a zero. Can people see they're watching?
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that bull is lining up the horn for the kill shot.
He's a smart one.
Yeah, that guy's gonna.
It's like watching fucking Top Gun.
Top Gun. He's locked on there, and I mean, why? Whatever. I mean, whatever. People are goofy.
And then you got Swan Dive guy. Look, I jumped over a bull. Look at me.
Yeah, well, what goes up must come down. That looks like the bull with the bug.
It kind of does.
Kind of just one roided out, pissed off bull.
Roided out.
Bull's got roid rage. He's been freaking deballing for a month or two. He's just freaking. Oh, he's just pissed. Look at him. Look at them. If you have, I mean, seriously, people, if you haven't been around cattle, oh, that hurts. If you haven't. And how strong these beasts are, you don't have an idea of what's going on here. This is our pet segment for one more, and I'm out of here.
Dude, we nailed it. We nailed it. Though. We have
so
snakes,
friendly.
we have deer, we have
Snakes,
fucking
deer.
steer.
All we need is a little bunny in here, and we'll be set.
Oh, speaking of bunny, let's talk about Jill Biden. Let's talk about Jill Biden.
How is that anything to do with bunny?
Because she's a vicious bitch.
Oh,
and bunnies bite.
Bunnies bite. Jill Biden, Dr. Jill is the PhD.
Sorry, doctor.
She is the reason that Joe Biden, in my opinion, is still not going to get out of the race. My phone was blowing up last night because I have, as I told you last time, I have some wagers with some friendly locals that they're like, he's going to get out and he's going to drop out. He'll be replaced, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I think he's staying in. So he had a press conference last night, which was not a press conference. It was a political ad.
Which I multiple more videos with that.
Right, but that you and I paid for. And if I was Donald Trump, I'd ask for equal time, because that had nothing to do with the state, had nothing to do with the NATO visit, had nothing to do with anything other than him campaigning.
Yes.
So I would demand equal time. So I was Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he came on there and everyone was speculating, is he going to step down? Is he going to, you got to crack that. We haven't, that was manly.
Well, because I got the 16 ounces versus a cans.
So everyone was like, he's going to step down, get ready. He's going to announce it tonight. And we'll on there to actually lie some more, to quote some, to skew some figures in his fashion, how things are apparently good, how inflation is coming down, which is actually, I heard producer, what's it called? The producer price index actually rose. There's just can't step down. Jill Biden, since we started with that, Jill Biden is the force that is saying there's no way you're stepping down. She hates. I mean, I heard some snippets today. And I'd send them to you, but I'm off Facebook. Maybe you heard the during primaries last time, that after she attacked, because she did attack Joe Biden in their primaries, she attacked him pretty hard. It insinuated he was a racist and some other stuff, probably misogynist.
Attack Donald Trump, you mean?
No. In the Democrat primary,
You said.
Oh, Jill has Kamala.
Okay, but you said
that
Joe.
You
said Joe.
Oh,
I was just trying
maybe
to
you heard Joe. Maybe I said Jill.
I did.
Never interrupt me. I'm Joel. I'm thinking, don't you interrupt me.
You shut your mouth. You want your Facebook page back?
So say, hold that all over you. So they said that Jill told Kamala to go F herself. I mean, to her face, because that's how much she dislikes Kamala. So they're in a pickle right now, because think about it. If he steps down, or if he says, I'm not running for office, the natural choice would be, if he steps down, she goes a train wreck. Nobody wants that. A lot of Democrats are like, no, we hate her. She's incompetent. She's terrible. She's not likable. She's had the highest turnover of staff. By the way, did you see the story about the number of staff that Joe Biden's White House has?
Yes.
It's like record numbers. And
Right.
Donald Trump, like him or hate him, folks, Donald Trump had a very lean and mean staff. They were very low. It was like a record low number of staff. The other thing about Donald Trump, if you remember correctly, how much of his salary did he take?
None. Zero.
None. Kept donating every
Zero.
quarter. He would donate his salary to a different governmental entity or charity. And Joe Biden, with all the reports that you've heard, and it's ad nauseum and very well documented, the millions that he's parlayed his government career into contacts, into contact or into money for his family, and how many companies that they've had form into LLCs and bank accounts the Biden family et al. Own and have opened. But Joe Biden still takes his presidential salary. I mean, that's got to rub you the wrong way.
Well, he's been a career politician too.
It's just disgusting.
A career politician.
Never had a job in the public sector ever.
And
Private sector. I'm sorry, private sector. He's
trying-
only been in the public sector.
I'm trying to just come up with a number real quick. If I
Well,
can.
I mean, it's all right. It's just Joe. I remember specifically the staff that Trump had in the White House was very, very low, and the
Correct me if I'm wrong.
the first lady's staff. Let me say this. I don't mean to interrupt you. The first lady's
Yes,
staff.
you do, but that's-
I do, but I mean, the first lady's staff under Melania was like the lowest ever. They only had like 4 people. Seriously. And I'm sure that Jill Biden, there was just a story yesterday about how much we're spending a year on Joe Biden's staff. It's disgusting.
But I remember, like, when Trump first got into office, where he's fired, and it seemed like a lot to me at the time, and I could be completely wrong, but it seemed like there was a decent amount, but then it leveled off.
No, yeah,
Right,
you need
so-
some stuff. I mean,
Right. So as you get in, you're figuring out what's working, what's not. And then, all right, so you got to go. I'm going to bring you in. You got to
Well,
go.
I think also from a businessman's perspective, it really annoys you having been a businessman, and Donald Trump's been a businessman his entire life. You know, you don't like to see people stand around doing nothing. So you're like, what do you
Right.
do?
Yeah.
You know, I could see him walking through halls like, who are you and what do you do? You're fired.
Right.
We don't need that.
Are you bringing anything to
Yeah. Well, I mean, and so, you know, Jill Biden, getting back to the subject, Jill Biden, I believe, is the reason that you will not see, you know, their convention is 30 days, less than 30. It's like, what is it? It's like mid-August, and ours is starting now.
I thought it was mid-August.
So ours is starting this Sunday, and theirs is a month after ours. So, you know, they've got the rooms booked, folks. And I read that in Michigan, a Michigan election official has given warning that, you know, it's getting too late in the process in Michigan to take his name off the ballot. So I hate to say that I hate to admit that I enjoy watching the misery of the Democrat Party. I remember one of our local Democrats who I have a very good relationship with, Bonnie Dunkelman. Maybe you've heard of her. She's a mouth breather.
Never.
How much she wishes that she be appointed as a delegate to go renominate Joe Biden. I wonder if that's still the case. I mean, I would like to think they're intelligent enough to see. Did you see Landsman called for him to step down?
Yeah, I mean, all of these people, he's losing all, and that's what I put in the description too. He's losing all of his allies.
Oh,
Everybody's
George
looking.
Clooney is gone.
George Clooney said, "Hey, I just raised a shit ton of money for you." But, fuck.
Well, how do you
think I
first of all,
fucked up.
I've never really liked George Clooney. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of George Clooney. But George Clooney, you know, you're telling me that in 3 weeks things have declined so much. Why didn't you come out the night of your fundraiser and say, hey man, something's not right?
Exactly.
You know, something's with this guy's off. But you didn't say that. You waited. Why?
Right. And then
Because
all of a sudden
everyone saw it.
because now everybody else is coming out. So now it's easy to say,
So the Democrat,
he's not the guy.
the Democrat National Committee has received word from their donors that they've frozen $90 million in donations unless Joe Biden is replaced.
Oh shit.
That is a big story.
That is fucking huge.
Yeah, that's a big story. That's a lot of moolah. So
I want to play this. I'm going to play this Joe Biden clip. Though,
we're going to watch some Joe Biden here.
She is what she thinks she is, but she's really not.
Oh, I love this. This one, she says, "Don't yell at me." Yeah. I see all this.
Dr. Biden, do you have any message to House Democrats who are calling for your husband to drop out of the race? How are you feeling about the state of the race? All right, ladies. No.
Why are you yelling at me? You know me.
Yeah. Why are you yelling at me?
They're yelling at you because you're not fucking acknowledging the fucking
You're not
press.
answering any. Well, you know. I want people to think about this. Now, put your thinking caps on and go back in history. Donald Trump would have press conferences. Remember the Jim Acosta, but Donald Trump back and forth. Donald Trump would press conferences, and it's not prearranged and not note cards. Call on the guy in blue,
Which that fucking idiot.
yeah, because you're too stupid. And this is going to be the question he asks you after you walk here and stop, and then
Right.
look up, breathe, right? And so Donald Trump would have epic press conferences and sit there and go unscripted with the press anywhere he was.
Yeah.
Anywhere he was. Joe Biden, last night they called that a press conference. It was not. It was a political speech given under the guise of a press conference.
It was a speech / dialogue.
And it was his first one in over 8 months. So, I mean, here's the deal. I want, no matter who it is, agree, disagree, support, don't support. I want a president that has to face the press.
Yeah.
And was I enamored with the press at that time? No, because I thought that Jim Acosta was a pig. I think that the general, I think we have a lot of journalists that generally suck under the guise of being supposedly nonpartisan. I can think of one locally for sure that really pisses me off. And, they just consider themselves elitists and that they know better because they might have, they read some books and, look at me, I've read whatever. And they think they know more than you. I find I don't have a problem with a journalist if they own up to the fact that, hey, I'm a liberal and I subscribe to the liberal ideology, okay, and I am what I am, and I'm going to support my position, or I'm going to argue, but I'm going to support my position. I have a big problem with the ones that come across and they say, oh, I'm nonpartisan. Yet, if you look at their Facebook page, it's nothing but Trump ridicule. Trump's bad. Trump this, Trump that. And if something bad comes out about Biden, the first thing they say is, well, you remember when Donald Trump did this? I'm like, this is not aboutism. This is simply observing what's happening in the world today. So I have a huge problem with the media. I think that social media, besides Facebook, because they suck, just bitter. I just need to let go. But I think social media and the internet has put a big damper on it, because we couldn't, this show, how many years ago would it be that this show wouldn't even been really possible per se? Technology and the internet has helped.
Absolutely. And it was, when you were politicking for an office, you went door to door, you met face to face, you were hanging door hangers on doorknobs. You couldn't just blast a mass media post out on.
Good. Yeah, but it's good in to be fair. Joe Biden didn't campaign the last election. He stood in the basement, and most people don't. Most people may not realize this. You might know that they have a recreated. I believe it's not the Oval Office, but it's they've recreated a room, and that's where he did all his broadcasting from. It was a fake window, it was a fake backdrop, it was a fake prop room, but it was made to look like he was in the White House, or he was I forget where it was, but he was never there. And it was always he was in the basement across the street doing his campaigning. Now, he wasn't in office then, I get that, but a lot of, even during COVID, a lot of his broadcasts and whatnot would be from this fake location, because the dude, they kept him hidden and it worked. Is it going to again? I look back, don't you look back at COVID? You see the videos of everybody 6 feet. Remember in the media saying, oh, Cleaner Concepts was reported for not maintaining the 6 foot distance. I'm like, and they weren't, and some whack job lib would be in there and they'd go, they're not wearing masks. I'm like, ma'am, it's 130 degrees. I don't think a bacteria can live in here in 130 degrees.
Exactly.
And I'm hot, and it's a dry cleaner, and it's 98 outside, plus 40 in here. Do the math.
I am inhaling more chemicals than you have ever fucking imagined.
I can live forever.
So fuck off.
They come here to die.
Right.
But
and it was the same thing at the firehouse. We were given so many different, because there was no standard. We were given so many different masks because our administration was taking care of us. Hey, wear this, and all of a sudden they'd hear something.
Wear that.
We bought you. We got you this.
Put 2 on. Remember that?
And I don't want to say like they bought it. It was all government stuff. But I had different masks that I had to pick through, from the big 2 canister, rebreathers to N95, anywhere in between. And I'm like, well, and I asked my chief. I said, which one? Where? And he was like, whichever one you're comfortable with, but we want to make sure you have everything that they're giving us, the information that we're getting. We don't know.
And they didn't want to catch shit from the general public. I saw a fireman without a mask.
Yeah.
And I look back. I think of those days.
Would rather have not worn a mask. I was not scared, and I was not worried about it.
To be fair, you look better with a mask. Anything that covers up that mug is just good.
We were just talking about sizes of heads.
Is my head big?
It's fucking huge, dude.
Maybe you just got a peanut head.
You
thought about that? Oh, my. Oh, you see your hands. Yeah, you probably got a peanut head. Anyway. Yeah. Here's the deal. don't you look back on those COVID days and you're like, man, I cannot believe we lost our proverbial minds like that.
Yes, absolutely. It changed society completely.
And you had primarily, you out of caution. Look, I got it the first week or two. I mean, I remember the government said, hey, I remember the days like, hey, we're going to be closed for 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Remember that? We're going to be closed for 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Flatten that curve. And what was her name? Amy Acton. Standing there with Governor DeWine, just slaying businesses one after the other. I had a chair in front of at Hyde Park. I had a lounge chair in front of the business because nobody was coming in. Now we were deemed to be essential. Well, what does that mean? That means I had to pay my employees to show up to work in case somebody brought me something,
a suit,
not even, whatever. Right. And I was just getting sun. I was literally sleeping in the parking lot because there was no one driving around. And yet we tolerated that as a society. And I'm still puzzled because I think it could happen again.
Yeah. And what I find amusing as well is the tit for tat between Trump and
Trump, and I like to be realist. Okay. I wish Donald Trump would have looked at Fauci, who I personally believe Fauci committed crimes.
Should be in jail.
I think he should be in jail. The hearings on COVID have shown that he lied to Congress. He knew about the gain of function research. He funded the gain of function research. He was responsible for a lot of that research going on in China, and he knew about it, and he lied to Congress. So I think he should be in jail. I think he destroyed lives. I have to talk about the governor of Michigan maybe being a old Gretchen. Tell her to haul ass. It takes her 2 trips. But I have a relative that, in Michigan, what they did was they took the COVID patients and they put them in care facilities. Did you know that? So they put them in senior care. They were trying to isolate the COVID people out of the hospitals and put them in care facilities. Well, a friend of ours had a sister that was living in one of those care facilities, and COVID that she caught because they had such a concentration of COVID patients in her care facility. She didn't have it, but because they put them all in care,
because they put them,
and that was all responsible. That was one person's responsibility. That was Gretchen Whitmer, and it was funny. They had, I remember I posted about this. It's funny, back when I was on Facebook.
Who supposedly is up in the running somewhere,
right? And
who supposedly got kidnapped also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking idiot.
The gang, the apple dumpling gang. Remember that movie?
Yes. So
I posted about that too when I was on Facebook, but now it sucks. There's a store there. We have one in Eastgate Meyer, and you could go down this aisle to buy food, but this aisle was taped off because it had seeds and farming equipment or out gardening equipment. You couldn't do that, and you couldn't buy clothing, but the food aisle was open. I'm like, what sense does that make?
Dude, it was.
Remember the cars on the floor in the grocery store? Everything was one way, so you didn't pass anybody.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Don't make no eye contact. No, don't touch that melon. That's my melon.
The amount of times that I got yelled at for not wearing a mask because I'd go in because I'm like you said, like to your point, being in the dry cleaner, like I'm fucking sweating, dude. I'm taking. You haven't put what do they call it at night?
Mandate?
Not a mandate, but
curfew.
Curfew. You haven't put a curfew on me. You haven't put a mandate on me.
Yeah.
You put a mandate, but it's not admissible.
It's not enforceable. It's not enforceable.
Yeah, it's not enforceable. So fuck off.
But yet society bent over, and I can see people doing it. I mean, I understand the fear initially. Like I said, I do understand let's err on the side of caution. Let's step back for a second. Let's evaluate it. But it seems like the people that were prone to craziness, and they were primarily on the left. They really were. The Prius drivers were the first. How many Prius drivers you see wearing a mask alone?
Driving.
want to make sure I don't catch COVID.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
And I'll be that fence rider for a second though. They both, Biden caught it, but Trump caught it first.
Yeah.
As far as dealing with it.
Yeah.
Trump started to deal with it. Biden inherited it.
Well, wait, don't forget that the Democrat Party fought Trump when he put the travel ban in for China. He said it's xenophobic.
Yes.
And Nancy Pelosi went to San Francisco and encouraged everyone to come attend the China Festival in San Francisco. So Trump at every turn,
but
and
they
then blamed him.
They won it both ways.
Correct. Well, it's a Democrat Party. Someone else said this. I thought was very poignant. Look it up.
P-O-I-G-N-A-T.
Poignant. To a Democrat, and I'm, guys, I'm realistic, but let's face it, with what they're going through with Biden, it demonstrates the fact that Democrats can't accept that they may lose. So they want to try to do anything they can to make sure they're not going to lose this election. Here's the deal. You chose a bad candidate. Okay. He did beat Donald Trump, maybe without, I don't know if that would have happened. And he has a horrible running mate. But because of that, you're in a pickle now. And that pickle is you're probably going to get your butt handed to you this election. And you can't accept that you made a bad decision. You're not going to, you want to try to skew the game now that, oh, well, we'll just replace him. Change the ballots or put somebody else's name, whoever we have to do, whatever we have to do to win this election, because Donald Trump is the devil. Look, Donald Trump's not the devil. The country's not going to change. I mean, it's a big ship. It doesn't turn on the dime. I do think that some things will change. I do appreciate the fact, and I don't want to offend anybody on your position on abortion, but Republicans, if you want to lose an election, just keep bringing up abortion. Right. I think that having it with the states, my personal opinion is having it a state decision is the right way to go, because you have a lot more influence electing your local legislators and your state legislators than you do national policy. I don't think abortion should be either a national right or nationally banned. I think that should be up to the states.
Yeah. And
each state should make its decision. And you know what? If you don't like the ruling on your state, then change the laws in your state. Lobby to change the law nationally. It's a lot more difficult.
And I think the biggest thing is people aren't voting, just Democrat. They're voting against Trump.
Yeah, sure.
It could be, if it was somebody else, hypothetical situation. Let's say DeSantis was running.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be nearly as contentious.
I think
only because they see Trump's name. So you have these people that are not educated, not watching what happened before and what's happened now.
Yeah.
They just see Trump's name, and that's what the Democrats are pushing out is we got to beat Trump. It's all we hear is we have to beat Trump, which right now that's the runner. I get it, but when you look at it deep down, they just want to beat Donald Trump. Period.
Well, they hate Donald Trump.
I hate him.
And to be fair, if someone was to ask me, would you invite Trump over for dinner? First of all, I think it'd be funny. But I'm sure Donald Trump has a lot of personality traits that I might not enjoy. I mean, I think he's a bit egotistical, just a bit, just a smidge. Successful, but to be fair, he did take advantage. His companies did take advantage of the bankruptcy laws back in the 80s, and I think they that hurt. I mean, because I've been on that end. I mean, you declare bankruptcy. I mean, the plumbers, the suppliers, everybody below you just gets screwed. And I mean, that's hurting people's lives. So I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think just because it might be legal, maybe shouldn't be the thing. There's a lot of things that are legal doesn't make it ethical. So on that note, I'm not here to say Donald Trump is infallible and is the end all be all. I like the man's policies, and I think we need to get back to, I think folks need to understand, stop voting for the man that you might personally like or against the man that you might personally dislike, and start with your not only your pocketbook, but your livelihood, because it's every day that I pick up. I used to see it on Facebook, but because it sucks, I've been deplatformed. Every day you see a story of a business closing. Did you see locally the one that might be closing? One of my favorite stores, Big Lots, is closing a bunch of locations.
Really?
Rite Aid is closing a bunch of locations. Walgreens is going to be closing a bunch of locations. So, I mean, every single day you read of a different restaurant closing. It's very rare that you read of a business expanding in today's marketplace.
Right.
And those policies were brought about because of the inflation. I saw a story yesterday or the day before how Joe Biden has announced that he's offering a $2 billion incentive with a B, $2 billion incentive to take closed factories and turn them into EV production facilities. Let me ask you a question.
Dan and I have fucking
EV sales are plummeting.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because people have realized that they're not, although they're kind of cool, and I'll give you, they've got every gadget known to man. They're faster than you're just, and I don't care what anyone says.
Peter to pay Paul.
Correct. You're just shipping.
You're stealing from Peter.
You're shipping. You're outsourcing the pollution to somewhere else. And then if you factor in the pollution to produce the vehicle, they're exceptionally not green. But so Joe Biden, and guess where it's being offered? In swing states, that the election might be a little bit closer.
Weird.
Doesn't that sound a little bit like is that like a bribe? Almost like you're offering to pay off people's student loans?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, what's going on? What people are going to wake up, and so the economic policies put forward by this president, whether it's forgiving student loans, whether it's offering free cash or government incentives for something stupid that they want to push, like the EVs, when the demand is going down, Houston, where my family resides, they're going on there.
Which I meant to ask you how your family's doing.
Thank you for asking. They're sweating. Actually, my family has a generator. They have a whole house generator, so they're surviving. There's a lot of folks around them that are really hurting. I had a buddy comment online. He said, on one side of the street, you urge 4. I mean, it's like, so you're dealing the low in Houston. So they're going in the mid 90s, about 110% humidity. And the low at night is in the 80s. So I want you to try to go to sleep at night in a house with, no electricity, no fan. And they're going on, I don't believe that CenterPoint Energy has said it's going to be another 3 or 4 days. They had over 1 million people. Last I said, 1.5 million people without power. So my question to you is this. So an EV with no power, what do you do?
Yeah, you're fucked.
You're screwed. Where do you go?
You better have a bike. You go from, ooh, I'm being green to now, oh shit.
Well,
now I have to survive and I need gasoline.
My one of my last posts before I was deplatformed, because Facebook sucks. There's a theme here. Was why are we putting more emphasis on a grid and infrastructure that is clearly in dire need by every report of being upgraded and hardened? Why are we increasing the demand on that grid? And that's an example of why this rush to electric is not a good decision.
Yeah.
Nationally, California, Northern California, go ahead, folks, look up what's happening in Northern California. There's fires all over the place. They're cutting electricity off in different areas of California. Why? Because the lines are sparking and they're creating forest fires because they don't, what's the word? They stopped doing that. So these are tins waiting to go up. Well, they cut off the power in your area. Your Tesla's not going to really work that well. So that cuts off your ability to get to work. I don't understand it. I wish they would say, if they had a plan to upgrade, you can't put the cart before the horse. You have to follow the grid first so that it's able to then absorb the increased demand without undue.
It can sustain.
Right. And it's undue burden on society. But that's not what we've done here. You have people that have never run a business in charge, and they're trying to push their agenda, which is green, for the sake of being green. And it's not, you and I will agree, it's not green. I'm not a big fan of the windmills in northern Ohio. I'm not a big fan.
I love the meme, and these are funny memes, but it makes sense where you have a generator, a diesel generator hooked up to a fucking electric charging station right next to where the cars, and obviously it's a fabricated meme, but it makes sense.
No, some of them aren't fabricated. Actually, some of them, those are real pictures.
But because some of that shit, I mean, that's how it has to work.
Well, we are a fossil fuel economy world, whether we want to admit it or not, and you can. You know the spiffiness of it, the quickness of it, because they are really, really quick. I mean, you push the gas, and the electric motors have instant torque, so they're pretty cool.
Well, I never break the speed limit, so
no. Well, right, unless the lights are on.
I don't need to be zippy quick.
Make the lights go on. We go faster. We don't have to stop for anybody. Just push the button.
Right.
I never did that. I mean, I did ride-alongs, but I never did that. I was like, hey guys, I did have the ambulance. I was known to. The Pappas mobile. I was known to turn on. Those lights were functional.
I sold you your siren.
That's right. You sold me my siren.
That's how we first met.
That's right. You were kind enough. That's in the Jeep. I still have that.
Sweet.
I forget what it is. Every once in a while, I hit that button. It'll wake you up. That thing was old when I got it, but it's pretty cool.
It's a fucking relic.
That's right.
I don't know if you saw, and I know you didn't, but I know you're an avid watcher of The View.
Oh Jesus!
I didn't pull this video.
I thought we had a standing rule. If we don't, we need to make one.
No, it's just so funny.
Like, gonna lose viewers.
The only reason that I bring this up, and I wish I'd have pulled the video, but Ben Carson was on The View, and it's so funny to watch those bitches get shut down every time because they pull on. They had Matt Gaetz on.
Ugh.
He shut them down.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he went through his. What's your vibe on him?
I think he's a pompous, arrogant fuck.
It's kind of weird, isn't he?
He is weird.
He's got like that weird Muppet look to him, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they had Gaetz on, and of course, Whoopi's always a spokesperson. Shuts him down. I saw a quick clip about that. But then they had Ben Carson on, and Whoopi's trying to pull the fucking black card, the racist card.
On Dr. Ben Carson.
Yes.
You didn't say doctor.
I did not.
No, I mean, that's a standing rule. Ben Carson's smart.
Yes. He made her
look like,
and the rest of them look like, and as most people
do. Not hard. Please don't say idiots, because they are idiots.
They are idiots.
But made them look dumber than
them look than idiots.
Is that possible?
How
is anyone still watching The View?
So Whoopi's asking. She goes, "You're a black man.
Really?
You're a black man.
You don't say.
You're Ben Carson, and we have." Yeah, I am. And I look at the big picture. I don't look at just race. I don't look at just gender. And he literally smoked her to the point where she was like, I mean, she was doing this anyway at first. And then all of a sudden, then she just leaned back. And it was the greatest goddamn interview. I'll pull it up, send it to you.
And we should have it on here, but that we'll lose viewership. You put The View on, it's like there goes the demographics right down the toilet. My question is
such a joke, though. They keep calling these people on, and they know that they're going to get fucked over.
Why is that show even still on? I mean,
their viewership really. I follow the Drinking Bros a bunch, and they were talking about it.
How their viewership's dropped.
Yeah,
should drop. I mean, it's trash. I don't mind. I mean, Whoopi, I expect stupidity of that. Joy Behar really pisses me off. She goes,
some Republicans are big game hunters, and I don't like that.
Oh,
and he goes, well, you're entitled to that privilege.
Did you see the story about that? I mean, we didn't talk about it, but what a tragedy that was locally here in Northern Kentucky with that birthday party.
Oh, the mass shooting. Yeah,
that was horrible.
Yeah.
Come to find out that I was talking to a lady it was a lady that went to the dentist, the lady that was cleaning my teeth. It was a very one-sided conversation because I was just going, and she had like her hands in my mouth.
It's
Like,
the best it's the best conversation with you typically.
But anyway, she was telling me that the guy that perpetrated the act was out on bail, a very low bail. He had been convicted or accused of, I believe it was sexual assault, and he went there to kill his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, no shit.
And she was the one that was one of the people that was killed, and also the woman that was hosting the party, the mother, was killed as well. And I was like, God, I want to find out who the judge was, that because I'd love to have a topic. I'd love to have it on the show, and we should do it next time. I'll if I can get back on social media. But we got to talk to the Habib, the local judge. I mean, have you looked into Judge Silverstein and her? That was it right there.
Just so happened to have.
Yeah. So there you go. Nice segue.
Would you like me?
I didn't even know you were segueing into that.
Would you like me to show?
It's like I'm like a precog from that movie.
Well, I pay attention to what you sent me, bud.
That's right. So these are the details. We have a judge. Well, I'm using the word judge here in quotations. We had a great judge in Kirk Kissinger, and he was a good and honorable man and did a great job in the courtroom. He was replaced because of the oh God, what issue was that? One or two. They flip-flop and brought out all the crazy people. They voted down the ticket. They sadly unseated Judge Kissinger with this Judge Silverstein. And if you read some of the bonds that she's setting for, is this viewable now?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you look at some of the bonds that she set, some of these are just recognizant bonds that people just walk out of the courtroom. We have a big problem here in Hamilton County. You've got a big race coming up, and between Connie Pillich and Melissa Powers. And Melissa Powers is doing everything she can to keep these criminals in jail and prosecute crime. The last thing you're going to see in Hamilton County is Hamilton County go the way of maybe San Francisco or LA, where you get a liberal prosecutor who decides we're not going to prosecute these crimes. You've seen the stories of
oh yeah.
and then you've seen
I know a bunch of Cincinnati cops that are dealing with it.
And you've seen the violence, the street takeovers that you've seen on the news every once in a while. Florida passed a law that if you're convicted of street takeover, like these where they go do donuts in the intersection or whatever they're doing, do donuts in the middle of the freeway. If you're convicted of that, you lose your car, you lose your license. Your car is impounded, you lose your license. I mean, that's zero policy, zero tolerance. That's what we should adopt here in Ohio. For some reason, we haven't done that.
Right.
Yet.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
So we need strong prosecutors, and we need more specifically, we need strong judges. Can you read some of those?
Our friend Kim Jump sent me this probably a week or two ago.
Right.
But then you resent it. Maybe you sent it to her.
Or maybe she sent it to me.
Let's see.
I mean, if you folks can look it up.
Strangulation, $10,000 bond at 10%.
10%.
Robbery
bucks.
number 2, bond $2,500 at 10%.
That's do the math. $250.
Have a weapon under disability.
Hey Siri.
A reconnaissance bond.
Oh, got Siri.
Is that your Facebook guy?
Siri trying to get it. She's listening.
Yeah, I mean, the
ones that are highlighted, and you can read down.
There's so
ones.
many of these
Yes.
that own reconnaissance, which they're never going to show back up.
That's right. The own reconnaissance means they walk out of the courtroom. They
never
going to
show back up.
That's right.
A reconnaissance. $2,000 at 10% for having a weapon under disability.
$200.
Strangulation. A reconnaissance.
Yeah,
you're obviously a violent person.
Yeah. So this is the problem we have in Cincinnati, and I've heard also that her demeanor and behavior towards police in the court is a. I don't want to quote specific instances because I don't remember them offhand, but it's something that she really takes it out on you if you're in her court, like if you show up in your police uniform. So you voted for this, folks.
You know what? You know who we can have on, and I can reach out to go over this, and we can recap that even more. Is the new FOP president?
Absolutely,
I know very well.
Absolutely,
Kenny Coburn.
Let's have him on, because you know, regardless of your politics, put politics aside for a second. You know, as we discussed last time, the core function of government, I think, is safety and security. You'd agree with that. I think most people would agree with that to a certain degree. You remove that, you give the criminals no there's actually no disincentive to commit crime, because the police also think about being a police officer. You see somebody doing a petty crime, and you're like, okay, am I going to arrest this guy and hassle with, maybe getting shot, taking him downtown? By the time he's processed, he's going to be out. I'll still be doing paperwork.
Exactly.
What is the point?
And then I have to waste my time, even though they get paid court time, to show up and take time off of my day off.
And I'm gonna be treated like garbage by this judge who doesn't like police. And the other thing is, every time every time they have interaction with the public, there's always the potential for the claim of mistreatment.
Yes.
And I know the body cameras are there to protect them as much as the public, but it doesn't stop these people. You have nefarious people that will lie and make up things, and the cop is then his career is put in jeopardy, and he's subject to internal review, or it's just it's easier sometimes to just go along to get along, and I don't want that. I want proactive policing. I want metal detector go on the air and off. I'm not a big theater guy, but I did go to one show and I managed to stay awake. But there was a couple of people that were held up.
Because you're not cultured.
Well, whatever. Coming from the guy, he's got dumpster culture. He's got Dumbo and what else? Despicable Me, Frozen. Oh, there's one that'll keep you awake. You don't
have to deal with Jill and all that.
The people were being held up right outside of Aronoff Center, but you couldn't have a gun if you were going into. Maybe your gun.
It's like watching the movie Batman, the original Batman, with Michael Keaton. You remember when his
that with the penguin?
The original one. His family's coming out of the theater, and that's when his parents get killed.
Yeah.
Guess what? If you could carry a gun in, then you have a gun coming out.
Maybe they should have lockers, and you check your gun before you go in, and then you get it as you're coming out. Maybe we could start a business. Check your gun.
Checkyourgun.com.
Instead of the electric bikes, we'll do the electric lockers. You check your weapon.
We're gonna phase out with I have one
Are
more
we done?
I have one more segment, and then I've got an ad read because you were good enough to remind me last time that we did. But I need a second.
What are you gonna do to me?
Close your eyes for a second.
I don't trust you. I'm so nervous.
I'm so nervous. Hold on.
Is it going to hit?
So this is gonna be mugshots of the week.
Oh, gross.
Oh, it's awesome. Gross. But I have to make sure that the
they cheat.
I have to just block it here.
Can you figure it out? I mean, this would have been better had we done this ahead of time.
No, because shit, this side won't let me. All right, so
dummy.
Just don't read.
I can't even see. I'll take my glasses
Just
off.
look at the face. What do you think she's charged with?
Prostitution.
For possession and dangerous drug. Shocker.
Well, I guess prostitution. Sorry.
The last time I did it, I was able to scoot it up so you could see it.
I can't read that. Him?
He looks like an upstanding individual. When you were a trustee, would you hire him?
Prostitution.
Drug violation.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the face tattoos that might give it. I mean, maybe he's a gang member. Is that a dollar bill on his face? What is that on his face? I can't see.
He's got lips.
Oh my god!
It almost looks like a Detroit Tiger tattoo, but it's not.
And he's got his earlobes. It goes on his lobes.
Gross.
Oh my god! Money.
No,
Advertisement.
Now we have an ad.
Advertisement.
I thought I skipped through all these.
I thought you did too. Sorry for the technical. Oh. Please tell me anything but prostitution.
There's your ex-girlfriend.
Loitering. Please be loitering. It's got to be drugs.
Felony possession of a controlled substance. Use of possession. Drug paraphernalia.
I mean, it had to be meth.
That one's pretty easy.
Did she have her teeth? Domestic violence.
Another controlled substance. Gosh, they're not all drugs, I promise.
Oh, armed robbery, burglary, assault, something violent.
All right. Yeah.
There you go.
Aggravated assault, leaving a scene of an accident, failure to provide proper evidence of financial
He's another
responsibility.
guy with face tattoo.
I don't know what's up with the face tats.
He's number 5. Is that 3 or 5? What's in between his eyeballs? What is that?
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a 5 ball. Maybe he's a good pool player. 5 is his lucky ball.
Maybe that was his 18-year-old tattoo.
Maybe that's his IQ.
When he was 18, he got that tattoo.
He's so stupid.
We'll do 2 more.
Oh my God. Meth.
Methamphetamine.
Hey,
Winner,
chicken dinner. Yeah. I had
And the
employees.
last one.
Oh, I drugs.
Resisting and interfering with arrest for a felony, obstruct police.
I think good nightstick won't cure.
Right.
Speaking of nightstick,
I actually thought he would definitely been a drug when I looked at it.
Speaking of nightstick, I'd be interested to see what we're gonna have such a good shows coming up here when we're gonna have video from the Democrat convention in Chicago because of what happened in '68, the night of the sticks. They're calling. I don't know if you've seen, but they are calling. There's public calls by groups for real violence in Chicago. Mentioned both on the train, the L is it called, the train system they have there. They're advocating for people to come to Chicago just to start shit. This could be epic. I mean, this could be. I hope there's no violence. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to gleefully watch it. But given the history of the last Democrat convention in Chicago, given the state of the Democrat Party today,
and given the history of Chicago over the last
Chicago had 100
years.
shootings. 100 shootings on the 4th of July weekend. 100 shootings. But guns are illegal there.
Right.
So that'll solve the problem.
It will.
Yeah. But did you hear who he blamed? The mayor of Chicago thought you could not do worse than Lord. The mayor of Chicago, he looks like a black Pee Wee Herman. He kind of has that.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him.
So he blamed this on something from the Nixon administration. Seriously, said this started under Nixon. I was like, why don't you blame the Chinese for inventing gunpowder? I mean, that would have been a more
right. That would make more
sense. It's a Chinese fault. Just blame them. 100 shootings. I don't know how many people got killed, but they had 100 shootings. And I had my dental hygienist. I heard this. So while she was picking, she talked a lot, but while she was picking around in my teeth, and I'm sitting there going,
picking all that straw out.
She said they were looking for trash cans. There were fireworks over the Lake Michigan, and they were looking for trash cans. And the daughter that lived there, his daughter-in-law, said, "Mom, they don't have trash cans because they're afraid they're going to put bombs in them." She's like, "You got to be kidding me! We got to carry our trash out here." She's like, "Yeah." These are things you have to deal with.
What
in
a
Chicago.
fucking way to have to live.
What a way to have to live. But
Jesus.
that's a Democrat city. That's a Democrat state run by Democrats eternally. And this is what happens when you keep having policies that dissuade people from wanting to actually have a good life there.
Yeah, I mean I've been not going forever,
nor will I be going to Chicago. I am going, as I said, we're going actually we're staying. We're not even in Milwaukee. We're like an hour south of Milwaukee, so I won't even be. I'll be at the convention center, but that's, and then I'll be leaving the convention center. What did it do? Please send an email in the show. What's there to do in Milwaukee? I have no idea.
Harwood Davis and me there.
Drink beer. Is it there?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
You positive?
Yep.
Are you thinking?
No.
Oh.
No.
I think it's famous for beer.
It is beer.
So wasn't it Pabst? Taste my Schlitz. What is there? Miller's in Milwaukee?
Yep.
Oh, Girth would have been happy.
Yeah, he'd have been stoked.
God, he'd have been lit the whole time.
This episode brought to you by the Varner Ohio Valley production. Sorry, Dave Varner gives us 18 different sponsorships, but we love him for it. Got a party going, then you check Ohio Productions. OVP is your one-stop shop for corporate functions, fundraisers, festivals, even a backyard barbecue. We're talking about top talent, live acts, DJs, karaoke, trivia, and more. They'll have your party rocking. Quality entertainment and a team with the most experience in the business. Trying to make your event one to remember. got a vision for a great time, make it happen. The Ohio Valley Productions.
You want me to read it next time?
Just drop an email.
I'm really good.
Dan at OhioValleyProductions.com. That's Dan at OhioValleyProductions.com. And rock on. And we love you, Dan.
Dan, we do
love you. And
not like that way, but we do love you.
we love you. We love you a long time.
We shut those places down, didn't we?
Pappas?
We shut those places down in Anderson Township.
Yes. You did a good job with it.
That was one of my best things.
I hope you get your Facebook figured out.
I hope I do too.
I can't wait to hear about it.
But
I
mean,
and we will be expecting
either my bank account's going to get cleared out or my Facebook account's going to be fixed.
I'm going to be expecting
an update,
some updates from the convention.
Well, how would you know?
Whether it's video or
How
whatever.
would you know?
You send me video.
Oh, you always send me. I could do that, but I mean,
send me videos, and then I'll let you know when we're podcasting. If you're available, then you jump on.
I think we should do a couple of remote feeds. I'll bring my. I think. Yeah. I got.
Perfect.
So by the pool, and we'll do like I'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm on the air. Back away. Just back away.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? I'm nobody. I have a follower of one.
I'm part of the one.
I'm on social media.
I'm part of the One More About Here podcast.
You could be my second friend.
But we're expecting some good intel from the.
I'm
from
really
the
like I said, if you've been to these things, sometimes they get. It starts on Sunday. I'm going Monday evening because I can't. My attention span, shockingly, is pretty small. Sometimes it can be filled with too many speeches, but it builds throughout the week, and then you get the bigger speakers.
I think it'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of cool. So it'd be cool to be on the floor when they drop the balloons. Remember when Hillary, when they dropped the balloons? Yeah, she'd look up. Looked like she was catching a worm. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm really looking forward to it, and like I said, I hope it's safe for everybody there. I hope there's no violence. I hope there's no attacks, and that goes for both conventions. I just think that the public is I think the American public is just exhausted from COVID, from the economy, from everything else, and the last thing we need is some sort of some incident
bullshit.
Some just incident to make us go at each other even more. I just hope that everything's cool, and that's on both sides. I mean, I really do.
Yeah,
that's a deep thought.
So have a safe trip,
deep
and
thoughts.
we will
do that.
We will reconvene with you.
One more, and I'm out of here.
One more, and I'm out of here.
Deep thoughts
via remote podcast.
That's right.
See you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll let you know when the next show is.
Peace out.
Follow us on Instagram.